What if I told you Will Byers didn't just survive the Upside Down? He unconsciously created the most dangerous dimension in Stranger Things. Not as a theory, not symbolically, but literally shaped it, molded it, and locked it in time the night he vanished. And the strangest part is, every season has been quietly revealing this. The clues were in episode 1. The timeline conflict, the survival paradox, the monster designs, the way the dimension reacts to Will and no one else. Everything points to a single shocking truth. The Upside Down wasn't Vecna's creation. Vecna simply found it. Will Byers made it. And season 5 is building toward the reveal the show has been hiding since 2016. The timeline breaks. Nancy's frozen diary isn't just a clue, it's a screaming contradiction. When she opens her upside-down bedroom in season 4, everything is stuck at November 6th, 1983, the day Will went missing. Clothing, photographs, clocks, the exact position of objects, every detail frozen in perfect stasis. But the problem is even bigger when you compare it to the canon timeline. Vecna enters Dimension X in 1979 after his fight with Eleven. So if Vecna transformed the Upside Down, the dimension should reflect 1979 or earlier. It shouldn't be Hawkins at all. It should be the barren, storm-filled void we saw in Henry's banishment scene. The Duffers tried explaining this away by saying the dimension locked when Eleven opened the gate. But why would opening a door freeze an entire reality on the specific night Will vanished? Why not freeze on the day Eleven contacted the Demogorgon? Why not freeze when Henry arrived? Why lock onto Will? The only explanation that fits every single detail is that the Upside Down became Hawkins when Will arrived, not before. His entry didn't just place him inside the void. It reshaped the void into a memory of Hawkins at the last moment he was conscious. Will didn't walk into the Upside Down. The Upside Down formed around him. The survival paradox. Will's survival isn't lucky. It's impossible. Barb dies within hours. The Demogorgon devours soldiers, teenagers, adults, everyone. Yet the weakest character in the show survives for a full week while being hunted by the most lethal creature in the Upside Down. How? Because unlike everyone else, Will interacts with the dimension like a co-owner. He manipulates lights. He creates electrical pulses. He can scream into the air, and Joyce hears him through walls. Joyce's Christmas lights glow for him in patterns that match his breathing and panic. The vines do not attack him. The spores do not poison him. He creates Castle Byers inside the dimension and uses it as a safe zone, which should not be possible unless the dimension itself recognizes him. Even the Demogorgon acts strangely around him. It keeps him alive, drags him instead of killing him, places him in the tendril nest, almost as if the creature is storing him for someone else. And most revealing, Will hears Barb's death, meaning he was close enough to witness her being hunted. Yet the monster kills her in seconds and leaves him untouched. The dimension is hostile to everyone except Will, because it is a dimension crafted around Will. The D&D connection. The Duffers told everyone the secret in episode 1. The boys described the Demogorgon in their campaign. It appears in Hawkins with the exact design Will imagines. Later, Will draws the Mind Flayer on a piece of paper. That drawing becomes the exact monster that emerges from the Upside Down. Dustin identifies it as a Dungeons & Dragons creature, meaning it looks like something from the boys' imagination, not an alien species. Even the atmosphere of the Upside Down feels like something designed. Charcoal dust, floating spores, thin veins wrapping around objects like pencil lines. It looks like a drawing brought to life. It looks like the way Will sees the world. The creatures don't reflect Henry Creel's mind. They reflect Will's fears, Will's drawings, Will's darkness. Vecna likes spiders, but the Mind Flayer is not a spider. It's something Will imagined before he ever saw it. The Duffers didn't base the monsters on D&D for fun. They did it because the Upside Down literally forms using the contents of Will's imagination the moment he enters the void. How Will created the Upside Down. Here's how it happened. In 1979, Dimension X was just a storm-filled empty void. A place of swirling particles without shape, structure, or time. It wasn't Hawkins. It wasn't a mirror world. It was unbuilt potential, like blank psychic clay. Then, in 1983, 11 contacts the Demogorgon in the tank and accidentally opens a gate. When the Demogorgon drags Will into Dimension X, Will's mind collides with raw psychic matter, powerful enough to manifest thoughts, memories, and fear into physical reality. Will's trauma activates a dormant psychic ability, maybe small, maybe subconscious, but powerful enough to manipulate a void dimension. His terror becomes the blueprint. The void copies Hawkins into existence. Everything freezes at the exact moment of his entry because the dimension forms from a snapshot of his mind. Every room, every object, every timestamp becomes locked. The spores, vines, and creatures form from his imagination and fear. The Mind Flayer forms from Will's dread, loneliness, and shadow imagery, until Vecna discovers it and reshapes it into his own weapon. Vecna didn't create the Upside Down. Will created it. Vecna took over. Why Vecna kept Will alive? Vecna sees the truth instantly. He realizes Will's presence is the reason the dimension changes. Killing Will might destroy the stability of the world around him. More importantly, Will is the only human who can unconsciously create, and that makes him valuable. In Season 2, Will senses the tunnels in real time. He feels the Mind Flayer across distances. His drawings map the entire hive network. He doesn't just experience visions, he experiences memories that the dimension shares with him. When the Mind Flayer possesses him, it doesn't just inhabit him, it blends with him. Joyce says, it's like they're becoming one. Will shivers when the Mind Flayer is near because his body is reacting to something made from his own subconscious darkness. It's not possession, it's reclamation. Vecna knows Will is dangerous, not because he's weak, but because he is the original architect. The evidence from 1979. Every shot of Henry in Dimension X proves the Upside Down wasn't shaped by him. When he lands there after 11 defeats him, the world is formless. No structures, no Hawkins, no time, no frozen objects. The Mind Flayer appears not as a creature, but as a floating storm of particles, a raw force waiting to be shaped. Vecna reaches out and claims it, but he never creates it. When Will enters in 1983, the void becomes Hawkins, not before, not after. That is the moment the Upside Down, as we know it, comes into existence. Season 5 confirms it. The creators have repeatedly said the final season goes full circle back to Will. They've said the Upside Down's origin will finally be explained. They've said Will's connection is supernatural and essential. Noah Schnapp himself said, Will is the key to everything. Not 11, not Vecna, Will. Because the final twist is not about where went, it's about what Will became. Season 1 asked, where is Will Byers? Season 5 asks, who is Will Byers? The final truth. Will Byers created the Upside Down out of fear, and he will destroy it out of strength. He froze time because it reflected his last moment of safety. The monsters reflect his drawings. The Mind Flayer reflects his deepest shadow. The dimension responds to him because he is its accidental creator. Vecna only colonized the world Will made. The final battle isn't just 11 versus Vecna, it's Will versus the universe born from his trauma. And the truth has been hiding since the very first episode. Will Byers is not the victim of the Upside Down. He is the origin of it, and he is the only one who can end it.